name is Funny. I am here today to talk about SAP Business Technology Platform, or BTP in short. I represent SAT Infotech. So before I go into my organization, let me just give you a brief of me. I uh, I am the director for SAT Infotech. I handle the technical division of the organization. Um, so I mostly handle the part where we need to work with solutions across SAP landscapes. So this could be either on the integration side, the development side of things, and that's what I handle within the organization. Um, so let me give you a brief of what we do at SAT Infotech. We are an SAP Gold partner. We are also we have been established in 2005, so we are an 18-year-old company now, and so we do end-to-end integrations with SAP. We have deployed about more than 50 end-to-end implementations, and we do a lot of support projects. So as an organization, we've been doing a lot more than just doing SAP implementations. We do a lot of consulting. We do a lot of business process re-engineering, and we work also on a lot of cloud solutions. Okay, and so this is what our journey has been. All right. So we started this organization in 2005, and back in 2023, we are working with SAP on S4 HANA cloud solutions. We have gone through the whole journey from 2005 through various aspects of what SAP has been. So we have seen SAP throughout its journey from being an enterprise on-prem software to where they are right now, providing cloud solutions across the enterprise landscapes. All right. So coming to what we are looking for today. So if you see from a general perspective, all right. So if you're looking especially for an enterprise segment, every organization is looking to be agile, especially on the business side. Just looking from a perspective of a business, um, and a lot of you have to look at it from a perspective of supply chain resilience, and a lot of sustainability is what guys, can someone? Okay, fine. All right. So businesses are looking at agility, business agility. Then they also want to take the advantage of connected networks. And finally, at the end of the day, you're seeing a lot of aspects on sustainability. All right. If you've heard about these things, and taking all these things into consideration. What SAP is coming up with is a platform, all right, which will integrate SAP landscapes, do a digital transformation, and being agile also. That means it's just not if you're seeing the agility towards digital transformations. A lot of these things are very agile. I mean, you cannot be stuck with the timelines what you have with a traditional SAP platform. All right. So we cannot be like, okay, oh, I have one parallel project going on, so I better wait for it to be completed before I dwell into other project. Okay, so this is something which cannot be taken in this new world. So then, so we are looking at agility between projects, not only projects, parallel projects. We're looking at different aspects of agile development. Which SAP is looking at very strongly. Then you're looking at data-driven organizations. you are not only just looking at from a perspective of doing if you're looking from ERPs are just not only transactional platforms anymore. Okay, it's more like what are you going to do with the data? Is it more looking at from a perspective of insights, or are you looking from a perspective of business decisions? All right. So these are the crucial parts. So SAP comes is coming with a platform which can deliver this in a more seamless, integrated platform. All right. So this is where BTP comes into picture. All right. So if you see the real ecosystem of BTP itself, more than 20,500 customers are already using SAP BTP. All right. And you see a lot of these partner apps that are already on the SAP's portal. And SAP definitely wants to take all these advantages with SAP BTP, because you see there's a lot of value coming from the ecosystem. All right, there's a lot of data, there's a lot of pre-built integrations that are available with a new framework like event mesh, and those frameworks coming to picture. SAP wants to provide a single platform where they dwell into things like pre-built integrations. Then there are a lot of APIs that are available, standard workflow packages that are available. So this is what they are looking at from this perspective of SAP BTP. All right. So SAP BTP is already a platform which SAP has already provided, and there are a lot of already packages, partner apps that have been developed, and SAP is actually increasing this value on a day-to-day basis, and they are looking for a lot of developers joining their platform. This is a huge opportunity where we feel that from a career perspective, if you can join this ecosystem which is already growing at a very very good pace, uh, um, uh, that would either help in your existing career. Probably you are either already an SAP consultant who is or is involved either in a functional role or a techno-functional role or in a technical role, where you've been developing applications either using ABAP, or from a completely different perspective. Let's say you are a web developer who is looking into a full stack development, and you want to look at a career where you want to work with SAP's platform. Okay, so this is where we think from the perspective of a partner who can, who have been delivering already BTP applications, want to build more and more resources in this area, and that's the crucial part where which we wanted to discuss during our session today. So so the whole BTP is, the platform itself is already proven. This is from a customer's perspective. We are seeing, SAP is at least seeing 87% higher productivity to development teams, and a lot of ROI from a technical perspective. So all this adds value to your career from the perspective that you're going to deliver more and more faster results to the team, to the whole SAP landscape itself. All right. Now, SAP BTP as the platform for SAP landscape. Um, so one, definitely rely on SAP's deep industry expertise. All right. And as I was talking before, it's future ready. That means we're just not looking at from a perspective of just developing applications. Uh, but we are looking at from a larger landscape perspective. One is, as I said again, innovate very fast. Then look at from an automation perspective. It is just not, you know building applications. We are looking at automation of either business process, and also an automation from a perspective where you deploy your applications quickly. A lot of other aspects also come into picture, right? Now, the other aspect which customers are looking are is basically is to have governance across the whole value chain, with the platform which will work across the whole landscape. It is just not only from that perspective. There are a lot of already built-in workflows or built-in integrations. For example, let's say I want to integrate my SAP ERP instance with something like an Ariba system or like an Concur system. There are already developed iFlows which can be directly integrated as a career choice for you guys. Because of the change of what SAP is looking. So if you look at from the perspective of SAP is moving into this world of cloud, and where you have to look at from a different perspective of agility, scalability, sustainability. When I say then and repeatability, okay, right? So a lot of these packages which are already built will be reused. So all these components you're saying is going to give out a very new career opportunities for various developers, architects, and people who are looking from a perspective of deploying a scalable landscape for the customers. Okay. Now, so as I again said, if you're looking from the BTP perspective, one important aspect which is coming up with SAP, which is also very important from a perspective of developers, is the keep the core clean concept. All right. So this is highly important from a perspective of from an SAP world, that SAP is trying to standardize the business process, and is asking the partner community, at least right now at this point of time, to not develop applications within the core. That's a sign which basically what they're trying to discuss about is, instead of developing the process within the system itself, please develop things which can be scalable. This way, we are not disturbing the core itself. So, for example, let's say I am we are looking at an upgrade cycle of your application, of your SAP application. You don't want things which you have developed within the core get stopping the from the upgrades. So I'm sorry. Okay, so this concept of keeping the core clean becomes very crucial, and similarly, you have other aspects like accelerating your developments to cloud, or your ideation to your product into the cloud. Then there is optimizing and automating your business process, and finally driving your decisions based on data. So all these concepts basically are very core, or like your pillars to your BTP platform. All right. So as I was talking about, the main aspect of what BTP as a platform is, that instead of developing within the system, SAP is looking at extending the platform rather than building within the platform. So this is the main pillar, I would say. And rest of the stuff are also very important, but keeping the core clean is the main concept which SAP wants to bring in. This is to avoid a lot of lot of code that is developed within the system, which would affect the whole landscape, whether it's an upgrade or whether it is any bug that comes out. So all these things keeping into picture. Okay, so these are the things which keeping the code clean is the main concept which SAP wants to bring in. So how do we do that? So this is, if you're seeing from a perspective of SAP, SAP BTP becomes the core. All right. So that means it is spread across the whole landscape, and on top of it, you have the cloud ERP, and then we have the different solutions, whether it is HCM solution coming from success factors. Then you have CX solutions like SAP CX solutions from customer for customer relationship management. Then you have something like Ariba for spend management and business networks. So all these applications, if you want to work across them or integrate them, so BTP is the platform for it. All right. So now this could be a seamless user experience. Then there are APIs that integrate across each other, right? So if you're if from a whole perspective, what you are looking at is a BTP as a across platform for this all these applications coming together. All right. Now you also see a word called AI powered business process on top of it. Okay. So which basically uh, 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 you can see AI powered business process. So if you're looking from a perspective of BTP, there are some AI powered business processes which are adding more value to just not one aspect of cloud ERP, but across whether this could be HCM, this could be a spend management solutions. Across all this business process, we are adding this layer of AI, and BTP is helping to do that. Okay. So again, SAP BTP is also the application development platform for SAP. Okay, now this is very interesting one. So if you look at SAP from a timeline perspective, most of their applications have been developed with ABAP as their core. All right, but over the years they have moved away from the ABAP to a different platform which is called the BTP now, with most of the developments happening outside with BTP. So this particular slide, you can see that there are a lot of SAP solutions which are built on BTP. That means it is just SAP is not only just saying that you develop these applications on BTP, but the applications which are being built within SAP right now and which are already being used. So, for example, you can look at SAP S4 HANA for group reporting, or SAP S4 HANA cash management. All right, there is SAP cash application. There is SAP receivables management. All these applications are already being built on top of SAP BTP. Okay, so this is the platform where we think that future developments will be going on, and not only future developments from a perspective of SAP itself, but from a partner centric products or from a customer centric products. For example, if a customer is looking for adding some functionality which is not there within SAP S4 HANA, BTP is the platform for creating such enhancements. So, going back to the concept of keeping the core clean, it is no more viable for a particular customer or a partner to develop this application within SAP. So it is better to look at from a perspective of BTP and develop this application. So the course which we are planning to work out will include the areas where we help you out in designing and architecting these applications along with integrations with S4 HANA. All right. Now, also, if you look at the Keep the Core Clean, SAP has already released a product called S4 HANA Cloud Public Edition, where they don't allow any in-app uh, extensibility. When I say in-app extensibility, the traditional ABAP code is no more editable. That means you cannot just go on creating the applications within SAP. So you need to use the extensibility framework to create your applications. Okay. Now, how do we do this? There is a lot of documentation. There is something called SAP Discovery Center where you can go and check different applications which you can build and different services which are there. So, for example, I want to create an application with HANA database at the back end. All right. So it will provide you a list of services that are available. I want to use Adobe for creating PDF files, right? Or I want to use something like a Redis database for creating some kind of integrations, a kind of a queue. Or, for example, I want to use Event Pub Sub. Can use something called Event Mesh. So there are a lot of these services are available for you. You can go to the SAP Discovery Center. Anyway, we'll be sharing this presentation to you guys, where you can actually go to the SAP Discovery Center by clicking this link here. All right. It is discovery-center.cloud.sap, or you can just search for Discovery Center in Google, SAP Discovery Center. You will be pointed out to the right URL. Okay. um, if someone is looking, probably in the questionnaire time, we can go into the some of the services which are available. Okay. Now, there are a lot of roadmaps, there are a lot of service plans as part of the Discovery Center, where you can see what are the existing applications that are being developed, how these applications are being developed. Then Coming to this, this is I mean, to be more precise, SAP BTP is like a platform as a service. They are being right now hosted in different regions. So, for example, here you can see in this particular slide where or which locations are there. Most of these areas are which are in green is where they mostly run. You have mostly with EU, with the US Central. Then India, there is a location right now. They are building up. In India. There is a lot of work going on. US Central, US East. A lot of these regions are available. So, from a sovereignty perspective, your customer data is within the region, so you can look at this map and see, what all services that are available. Okay. So, um, coming to the certifications of BTP itself, SAP BTP services already have the certifications and attestations. That means if the customer is trying to find out what is the security level for this application, for the different applications which they want to build in BTP itself, all the necessary certifications and attestations are available. There is a standard backup policies that they take care of, and there is an SAP test center. Anyway, as I was talking about, these slides will be shared with you guys. You can go through them. What exactly they are. There are more details. If you can click the links, you can go through them. All right. Um, Now, coming back to our portfolio of the training, what we will be focusing mostly on is something called SAP CAPM, which is the platform. SAP is talking about to develop extensions for your on BTP. So what is an extension? To be more precise, an extension is, for example, let's say a process or an application which is by default not there within your SAP system. Let's say whether it's a S4 HANA system or it's a success factors or any, it could be any of this landscape. Now, what the CAPM does is basically it allows a framework where you can develop your applications with front end being handled with Fiori. So you can also understand this as a platform, something like um, a full stack development platform, with SAP Fiori being the front end platform. You can also develop CAPM applications with other front ends like Vue or with any other front end applications. But suggested mechanism is SAP Fiori. The main reason here why we are talking about SAP Fiori itself is to have UX consistency across the landscape. So, for example, you're developing an application. SAP is looking at from a perspective of repeatability one and user experience. They want to make sure that the user experience is common across the platforms. So SAP Fiori comes into picture. There are a lot of service SDKs. Now the service SDKs are available both in Node.js and in Java. All right. So our focus in the training would be Java mostly. Sorry, would be Node.js or JavaScript. All right. But if there are developers who want to utilize Java itself, we can discuss those. But most of this service SDKs and the CDS libraries are extensively provided in Node.js. Then you can have the underlying persistency. There is a direct persistency model with SAP HANA. That means I can have my persistency of database in SAP HANA database itself. That means I can have it with a separate HANA database, nothing to do with your HANA database which is running your ERP, but a separate database which is going to be running for this application itself. Now, this could be a HANA database, or this could be a PostgreSQL database, or this could be a SQLite also. So these are the different persistent storage. So one more feature the KPM allows is something called remote KPM, which is pretty interesting, which is also one of the focus areas which we are going to look at in the course. Is called remote KPM services. Why I said it is interesting is the persistence layer need not be a database itself. It could be a remote service. So, for example, let's say I have a remote service um, uh, in um, uh, in my S4 HANA system, which I can access as if it's a database through my KPM modeling. So there are also cases where you can have a mixed hybrid model where some database sits within the persistence database and some part of it lies within the remote service itself. So this is an interesting concept, but from an overall subject, we are looking at building in the course we are looking at building a platform services using CAPM, which will include um, just not only developing a persistent database driven models, but we are also looking at remote services, hybrid model kind of applications. Okay. And so, if you're looking from either a full stack developer or as an ABAPer, all right. So this course or this platform would really be a forward career path, and I we think from this course this would be really helpful for you guys, and um, that's probably